Mental attitude makes the world what it is for us. The whole world is in our own minds. Conquer yourself, and the whole universe is yours. Have faith in yourselves. Great convictions are the mothers of great deeds. Great convictions are the mothers of great deeds. Today, you all have pointed out a very important aspect of performance enhancement. We received number of queries from our young participants relating to stable maintenance of willpower and self-confidence. Everybody asking us about maintaining self-confidence and willpower. Now, willpower and self-confidence, we are having immense ability. We are having immense dimension within us. Extreme level of willpower and extreme level of self-confidence is actually within us. So we just got to realize it, and we just got to observe it and absorb it. Now, just absorbing or observing is not enough. We got to maintain it. The biggest chemistry for any sort of performance enhancement, for any sort of utilizing oneself, is maintaining willpower. Naturally, because willpower and self-confidence do get exhausted. As simple as that. Willpower can worn out. So, welcome to Youth Talk, venue Swami Vivekananda Ancestral House, and today we will be interacting on self-talk and self-affirmation. These two, rather, self-talk and self-affirmation is extremely important. It's extremely important for maintaining as well as for stabilizing our positive attitude, our self-confidence, our self-optimism. And our great master, Swami Vivekananda, highlighted, our great master Swami Vivekananda gave extreme importance on self-knowledge, self-realization and unfolding oneself. He categorically proclaimed and he categorically emphasized on different lectures on self-knowledge, self-realization and unfoldment, self-unfoldment, and how it can come, how we can actually unfold ourselves, how we can actually utilize ourselves, and how we can actually search ourselves. It's within us. Unfoldment means the extreme potentiality as well as the extreme dimensions are within us. We just need to unfold it. We just need to open it. But how? One of the most important path is self-talk. We need to remind each and every day, we need to remind ourselves that, okay, every day we must improve. Every day we must try to search ourselves. Every day we must try to unfold ourselves. We must remind ourselves, otherwise it cannot happen. Now, with a very cool mind, try to think. Just ask yourself, with whom we used to interact the most? Just try to ask yourself, with a cool mind, with a very stable mind, with whom we used to interact the most. Is it with our parents? Is it with our loved ones? Is it with our friends? With whom we used to interact the most? It is with oneself. We always used to interact with oneself. We always used to interact with ourselves. That's a normal process. Self-chattering always happening. Whenever we are receiving some input through our input senses, through our pancho indriyo, whenever we are receiving any sort of input from our input senses, we are actually interacting with oneself. So, natural self-chattering is happening. And it is all about our conscious mind. Natural self-chattering is happening. Regarding performance, if we really want to perform at the highest level, if we really want to enhance our performance level, if we really want to utilize ourselves, then our conscious mind is not enough. Then our conscious mind is not enough. We need the help of our subconscious mind. We will require our subconscious mind to support us, because that subconscious mind always behaves in a spontaneous way. Naturally it is behaving, naturally it is supporting us. It's like that if this is our conscious mind, we are aware of our conscious mind. This is our conscious mind and we are actually aware, and this is our subconscious mind. The main chemistry, the main factor is that the conscious mind is actually the gateway for our subconscious mind. Whatever we are speaking with oneself, whatever we are saying to oneself, it is actually helping us, or rather it is actually programming our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is getting programmed through our conscious mind. So self-talk and self-affirmation is nothing but talking with oneself, consciously talking with oneself in a positive mode. Self-affirmation is consciously talking with oneself in a positive mode about oneself. Talking with oneself about oneself, and that is extremely important. That's why self-affirmation and self-talk can really help us to perform at the highest level. Regarding self-talk, regarding self-affirmation, our brain or our conscious mind acknowledges images in a better way. That is, if we can imagine or if we can visualize our self-talk level, if we can visualize our self-talk level, then our conscious mind recognizes it much in a better way, in a much lucrative way. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. Images can be registered much easily. We must use the power of imagination which is actually within us. And one of the most important support of our self-talk is visualization. Visualizing whatever we are talking with oneself. And regarding this thing, we would like to share a beautiful event with all of you all regarding imagination and visualization, and regarding the power of imagination and visualization. What sort of power is there in visualizing oneself, performing, in visualizing oneself performing and giving one's best? 1976 Olympic. 1976 Olympic. A very young girl just created history, just changed the entire history of sports. Nadia Comaneci, gymnast Nadia Comaneci in 1976 Olympic just scored perfect 10. First time in the history of sports, somebody scoring perfect 10. It's unbelievable. And she was, at that time, she was only 14. Only 14, a raw talent. Just a raw talent. A raw potential. And after that, when she was around 25, she stated such a beautiful thing. She said that at that time, I was not aware about what I am doing. I was not aware about the magnitude of whatever I have done, because I was so young and I only had the urge to play. Everybody saying me that Nadia Comaneci is extremely talented, but it is raw material. So she said that her trainer just said her a very important aspect. Her trainer actually said her. Her trainer said that after each and every training session, you just stand still, close your eyes on the training floor and start imagining. Start visualizing that you are actually performing, you are actually playing, you are actually entering the entire stadium, you are actually entering. And you just imagine and visualize that you are performing in front of such a big crowd. So much pressure, so much voice. You are actually performing. And imagine and visualize all the referees are standing here. All your competitors are waiting and they will be performing. Just imagine, just visualize each and every day after your training session. Just visualize it. Just visualize yourself performing. Just visualize yourself winning. And just visualize yourself that the atmosphere, you are not carried away by the atmosphere. And Nadia Komanish said that when I entered the stadium, it seems that nothing is new to me. Actually, nothing is new to me. It seems that I am feeling quite at home. Because it seems that every day I was actually performing in this track. Every day I was performing in front of such a big crowd. In this magnitude I am just performing. So that imagination and that visualization helped Nadia Comaneci to be relaxed, helped Nadia Comaneci to utilize her talent, to utilize her potential at the most, in a brilliant way, because she visualized it day in and day out. Attitude never comes just overnight. It cannot come. Attitude cannot come overnight. We must remind ourselves each and every hour, each and every day, each and every time, that we must remind ourselves about what we have fixed it up, about our objective. About our objective, we got to remind ourselves. And regarding maintaining of proper self-confidence level basically depends on our belief system. Whatever we are believing, it is basically based on our belief system. What is much more important, rather, if we want to maintain our confidence level, what is much more important than self-belief is self-clarity. That is searching oneself. That is our great teacher Swami Vivekananda. That's why he said unfoldment, and seeking oneself. Seeking oneself means we are actually seeking for clarity. If we are having clear vision, if we are clear about our objective, about our path, about our vision, then the confidence level will always be there. Will always be there. And regarding maintaining the clarity, clarity level, the vision level, we need to talk with oneself. We need to consciously talk with oneself. We need to consciously visualize, and we need to consciously imagine, and we need to consciously talk with oneself in a positive mode. Every day, every hour, every time, we must remind ourselves. Our subconscious can really affect our musculoskeletal system. The main objective is to break the chain of our negative attitude, to break the chain of our pessimism, to break the chain of our negative observation as well as negative attitude. And how to break the chain of that negativity? It can be done through reminding oneself. Each and every time we got to remind, we got to talk with oneself in a positive way, we got to talk with oneself in a very concrete and positive way, and we got to remind oneself. And regarding this thing, a brilliant process is actually given in our Upanishad, our age-old cherished scripture Upanishad. It is actually given in our Upanishad. A beautiful process is there. What our great teacher Swami Vivekananda highlighted regarding self-searching, regarding self-knowledge, regarding seeking oneself, and regarding unfolding oneself, one of the main aspects is that we are actually part of this entire cosmos. It is there. We are actually part of this entire energy. Aham Brahmasmi. It is one of the Mahavakya. It is one of the Mahavakya. There happens to be 4 Mahavakyas given in our Upanishad. Yajurveda, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad states this Mahavakya. Aham Brahmasmi means we are part of that Brahmin. We are part of that. We are part of the entire cosmos. We are part of the highest energy. Aham Brahmasmi. And how it can come actually, how we can realize, how we can search, how we can seek that we are that. We are part of that highest energy. The process is given in Upanishad, is the process is given in Ganjo. One of the most important process for seeking, for acquiring knowledge, for washing out the ignorance level is given there. It is Shravana, Manana and Nidhyasana. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. Shravana means we are getting input. We are hearing through our input sense, through one of our Panchindriyo. Through our Panchindriyo we are getting input. Shravana, hearing and observing. Manana, we are actually utilizing it. We are actually absorbing it. We are actually observing it. Observing whatever we got, whatever input we absorbed, we are observing. We are continuously practicing. We are repeating Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. We are repeating process-wise. Continuously we are repeating and we are practicing and repeating whatever input we are getting. So that realization, we got to remind oneself each and every time. We got to repeat and remind oneself that we cannot be limited. We are not limited. Aham Brahmasmi. We cannot be limited. We got to remind oneself, and that is what our great teacher emphasized on self-knowledge, self-searching and unfoldment. That's why Swami Vivekananda entirely emphasized on unfoldment, unfolding oneself. It will come. That's a natural process. Just we got to remind ourselves each and every day. My young participants, each and every day we need to remind ourselves that we are not limited. We are not weak. We are not ignorant. We must wash out the ignorance level. We must remind ourselves we are part of the entire cosmos. We are Aham Brahmasmi. We got to remind ourselves each and every time, my respected friends, each and every time we got to remind ourselves that we are part of Him. And He is actually part of our life. We got to remind ourselves, and that is the power of reminding each and every time. We just got to remind ourselves that we are not limited. We are not at all limited. Thank you. Thank you, my young hearts. Thank you. You have to grow from the inside out. None can teach you. None can make you spiritual. There is no other teacher but your own soul. There is no other teacher but your own soul.